Greetings, John RT here, and I just wanted to take this time to look at a couple of passages as we venture into another quick 10 spiritual focus. And with that being said, I was looking at Luke chapter 18, and this question has been on my mind. It's kind of been something that has been driving me as of late. In verse 18, excuse me, in chapter 18, verse number 8, we see the words of Jesus Christ. I tell you, he will give justice to them speedily. In the latter end of the verse, nevertheless, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth? That is the question that has been on my mind as of late. So, to understand the question, we need to understand the entire context. Beginning at verse number 1, and this is the parable of the persistent widow. And he told them a parable to the effect that they ought always to pray and not lose heart. And he said, in a certain city, there was a judge who neither feared God nor respected man. And there was a widow in that city who kept coming to him, saying, give me justice against my adversary. For a while he refused, but afterward he said to himself, though I neither fear God nor respect man, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, I will give her justice, so that she will not beat me down by her continual coming. And the Lord said, hear what the unrighteous judge says. I will, verse 7, and will not God give justice to his elect, who cry to him day and night? Will he delay long over them? I tell you, he will give justice to them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth? There are certain circumstances that we go through while living in this life. We go through things that causes us, as it says in verse 1, to lose heart. Our prayers, our communication with God becomes hindered because we're going through a season, a difficult season. And we can fill in the blank of all the things that we go through. The loss of a loved one, things that we go through on a job, things we're dealing with in family, um, mental health concerns. I mean, we can list a whole lot of things that we are challenged by. You know, a lot of people are going through financial struggles. But again, these are things that causes us, if we let it dwell in our minds, and it can cause us to lose heart if we're not careful. So we need to be reminded that God does answer prayer. The next passage I wanted to talk about, as we think about how God answers prayer and how everything happens according to God's purpose. Um, for reference, you can jot down Proverbs chapter 19 and verse 21. But for right now, we're going to go to Genesis 50. And starting at verse number 15, and this is the story, as this story of Joseph comes to a close. And I encourage the listener, the reader, to go back and look at what happened to Joseph, how he was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and then all the things he went through while he was in that slave state. But yet God was with him every step of the way. And that's a good reminder of the last words we see in Matthew 28:20. He says, I am with you to the end of the age. God is with us every step of the way. It may not seem like it when we're going through our difficult seasons, but God is right there with us. Notice verse 15. And Joseph's brothers saw, when Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead, they said, it may be that Joseph will hate us and pay us back for all the evil that we did to him. So they sent a message to Joseph saying, your father gave us this command before he died. Say to Joseph, please forgive the transgression of your brothers and their sin, because they did evil to you. And now, please forgive the transgression of your servants, of the God of your father. Joseph wept when they spoke to him. His brothers also came and fell down before him and said, behold, we are your servants. But Joseph said to them, do not fear, for am I in the place of God? As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for the good, to bring about that many people should be kept alive as they are today. God has a reason for all the struggles that we go through. So when we are going through our difficult circumstances, we have a reason to be thankful, because God is going to take care of us. We need to have that confidence. We need not to lose heart. We need to be like the widow and be persistent in our prayers, keep talking to God. 1 Thessalonians, as we bring this study to a close, hastily to a close, chapter 5, and let me see, and I believe, yes, in verse number 18, give thanks in all circumstances. So in all circumstances, we should be able to find a reason to give thanks to God. And that helps us to rebuild and maintain our faith, just going back and looking at what God has brought us through. Will he find faith in us? He being Jesus Christ. When he returns, will he find faith in us? He will find faith in us if we can be reminded, even in our difficult seasons, to find a reason to thank God and look at all that he has brought us through. Again, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. So again, the question was, when Jesus returns, will he find faith? And we ask ourselves the question, will he find, when he looks down at me, will he find faith? When he looks at you, will he find faith? He will find faith in us if we can just be reminded that God is in control. He's going to work things out. And because we have the confidence that God is going to work things out, and we can look back at what God, the promises and things that God has brought us through, we can give thanks in all circumstances. So that is tonight's quick 10, and hopefully an encouragement to all those who are going through a season. But we're reminded that in this season of Thanksgiving, we can find something to be thankful for. And again, God has been good to us, even to the point that he is with us every step of the way. God bless, and I pray this message has helped you.